Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, inshallah, I'm going to go through Mad Iwad. Mad Iwad is basically replacing the tanween of the long alif with fatha. What does that mean? It means it's a substitute mad, meaning that I am substituting or replacing either the tanween or the long alif with a fatha. So I'm replacing the long vowel with a short vowel, or I'm replacing the double voweling with one single voweling. And this is only when I am stopping on the letter. If I'm not stopping on the letter and I'm continuing reading, then I will apply the Noon Sakin rules, and the lengthening of the letter will be dropped when continuing reading. So there will be no continuing of um, the lengthening. There may be an alif after it, or may not be an alif after it, and that's not a condition. For example, here you could see in Shakura, you have an alif after it, but in the first one, you don't have any alif after that, or after the Hamza, you don't have any alif. So what matters is basically your double voweling. If you don't have double voweling, then look for the alif. And if you don't have the alif, then do look for the double voweling in order to apply this rule. The lengthening of the letter is dropped when you continue reading, but if you do stop, you will lengthen it for 2 counts. So if I read this letter, the first word, I will pronounce the end letter as, if I'm continuing, hudan, and then I will make apply my Noon Sakin rules and continue reading. Hudan or hudan, depending on what the letter is. If it's a letter of ithar or ikfa, I will pronounce that hudan or hudan. If I am stopping on this letter, then I will lengthen it for 2 counts and I will say huda ma'a shakuro jam'a. I will pronounce it, elongate it for 2 counts. Why? Because I'm stopping on it. So in the Quran, when you see a letter or a word that ends in a double tanween, so the end letter has a tanween, and you are stopping on it, please make sure that you pronounce it with one fatha. Do not drop that completely, and do not pronounce them as one. So do not pronounce them together. So don't say hudan if you're stopping on it. That's a mistake. And if you're continuing, if you're stopping on it, then you would say huda. And if you are continuing, then you would say hudan and then reply the Noon Sakin rules. There is an exception to this rule, so I hope that's clear. You are going to be replacing the tanween or the long alif with a fatha, either one. So if it's double fatha, if it's 2 fathas, double voweling like this, double fatha, I'm stopping on it, I will pronounce it with 1 fatha. If there is a long alif, I am going to pronounce it with 2 counts when I am stopping on it, inshallah. There is an exception to this rule, and the exception is for ta, sorry. So when you are continuing, you pronounce the letter as normal ta, ni'matan, okay. And if you are pronouncing it as a ha when stopping, for example, I will say ni'mat, rahmat. Okay, I will pronounce the ta. But if I'm continuing, I will. If I'm stopping, sorry, and that's when I'm continuing. But if I'm stopping on the letter, I will say ni'mah, rahmah, and if you notice, my breath comes out. Ni'mah, rahmah, rahmah. So the breath comes out. So that's when I'm stopping. I will pronounce the ta as a ha when stopping. When continuing reading, I will pronounce it as a ta, ni'mat, rahmat, or ni'mata, ni'mat, and then continuing. Okay, and I will do the opposite when stopping. I hope that's inshallah clear. Jazakallah khair for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.